show ya magwena.
Inkinga kayona le one.
Yona le. Yona Platinum Morning.
This is your number one breakfast show in the whole planet, Platinum Morning.
Yeah, good morning, people. I hope everyone is having a great morning. I hope everyone is having a great beginning of the week, the first hours of this week, man. Otherwise, I had an amazing time this weekend. Otherwise, the date is 30th of January, 7:33, and my name is Zuko Ifaukavi. Do let me know what's happening in your life right now, man. Hit me up at 0624508619. If you want to vent, Zwagala, if you want to tell me what happened during the weekend, Zwagala, man, just let me know. Yeah, man. Otherwise, this is Platinum Morning for the Platinum people. What you should be expecting from this hour, heading up until 10 o'clock. We're going to start with the top stories, news and entertainment worldwide. And then lastly, today in history, locally as well as internationally. Marage, I'm gonna take a music interlude. If ufuna ukucava kwenzakaleni this past weekend, so far ngiyacava ukuthi kune mass shooting at a birthday party at Gqeberha, and abantu abayi-8 apparently bafile from the shooting. And then there was another bloody weekend at Cape Town. There's 3 people babulewe in separate incidents at Hanover Park. So yeah, if you want to cover ngalezo story lezo, you will tune in. Do not change that dial.
Kanyiwa sibali jonga. Manzi phansi irofiwile. Msray, my.
Yeah, man, that was a song by Toya DeLazy titled Heart, and on it put me under the album Jew Drop back in 2012. And before that, we had Wiz Khalifa Ojuelegba, I believe it's called. You only put me in the year 2014 under the album Ayo. Yeah. And yeah, man, Wiz Kid, such a talented guy. Reminds me of the time Ngambona at Global Citizens perform and stuff like that. But again, let's not get into that. That's gonna go my top stories, or so yeah. News over the weekend. The 8 people have been killed and another 3 are wounded in a mass shooting at Gqeberha, that's the Eastern Cape. So abantu by 7 were initially killed and another 4 were wounded after 2 gunmen entered a house izolo. Besebusuku that time emasababs ababizwa KwaZakhele, where a man was celebrating his birthday. They started shooting at the guests. One of the wounded people later succumbed to their injuries esibhedlela. Amaphoyisa athi the owner of indlu was among the deceased. Preliminary investigations at this stage have revealed that between 17:15 and 17:30, 2 gunmen entered the yard in Makhanda Street and started shooting at the guest, said a spokesperson Yamapuisa Uprinsila Naidu. An investigation into the circumstances surrounding this attack is underway. No arrest has been made and the motive for the attack was unknown. Yeah, so there's been a shooting at Gqeberha, formerly known as Port Elizabeth, and abantu abai 80 bafile due to that gun shooting. 3 were wounded, and Umnikazi wendlu is one of them. Imagine celebrating something in your own private home and then like being a shooting and like in front of your friends and family and stuff. Yeah, man. That's again what had happened this weekend again. There's been a bloody shooting in Cape Town in a residence of Hanover Park. So 3 people babulelwe while all 4 was wounded after suffering a gunshot to the head rather. So the community has been plagued by ongoing violence this year. And in the latest incident, izolo ekuseni, a 22-year-old man was shot at the Donegal Court Flats. It is alleged he was in Wendy House when he was shot. Bamhambisa esibhedlela after asakhamba kwama injuries wakhe. Bese Saturday ebusuku, a 52-year-old bamgwaze in Fountain Place following an argument, and he also later died esibhedlela. Earlier on the same day, umuntu ona 19 years old that happens to be a man was shot in the head at Moray Court. The police say he ran to the day hospital after the shooting, but he died before anga receive medical attention. In another incident on Friday ebusuku, there was a man naye bamdubule in the head while standing in front of a Ivengile, a Lancery Walk. So he was taken to the clinic for emergency treatment and is still recovering. So yeah, no arrests have been made yet. Nakamaphoyisa asking anybody on the information ukuthi babasize and hit them up, you know. And then the last one before the shy music in Salube City halftime. There's a woman's body that was washed up at Camps Bay Beach, Ikapa, in Saturday morning. So this woman was not yet been identified. Mara, according to Amaphoyisa, umzimba wake was found in the early hours of Kuseni and had been in the water for about 12 hours. Camps Bay Police Kenneth Chandler ati this was umzimba wabistri owashwe amanzi that was washed up by umanzi waselwandle since the beginning of the year. So Chandler ati this person could have drowned at another beach and washed up on Camps Bay Beach due to a current. So the passerby spotted the body of an unknown female at the beach in Camps Bay in the early hours of Saturday, the 28th of January 2023. The victim was declared deceased on the scene by the medical personnel, said the police Joseph Swartboy. So Camps Bay Police have requested noma ubani ongasiza ku identify lo mzimba ukuthi bahambe to the nearest police station. Yeah man. Basically, if you wanna find out about Welsh, the rugby CEO Guti Ukwitelane this past weekend, do stay tuned. And mafuna ukutaba futhi ngama the whole chat around head boy, head girl, so the LGBTQ, the queer community. If you wanna know what they have to say about the title of head boy and head girl, uzongithola after the music interlude. Mara athi ngindlalela uDJ Dimples Way Up.
Fine.
Ingabe grade 10, grade 11 noma grade 12, lokho akunkinga. iVMC Academy iyakwamukela. Sinezifundo ze-IT kanye ne-media, sine-technical support, software development, sound engineering, film and TV production, advertising kanye ne-journalism. Ukwazi kabanzi noma ukuthola imininingwane ethe xaxa, shayela kule nombolo 011 051 5155 011 051 5155 noma uthumele i-email kuleli kheli admin@butlarimarketing.com admin@butlarimarketing.com. VMC Academy, creating employers and employees.
Yeah, otherwise that was a song by Eve called Life is Blind. I'm not sure if Samkhumbulu Eve, man, like she was it a series or soap or what? She had a show that used to play on SABC1. Mara going back again, the song is titled Love is Blind, under the iphume 1999 under the album Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders First Lady. I even forgot she was under Rough Riders. For some reason I thought she was associated with Dr. Dre, but I think she was at some point. Yeah, we're saying a song before that was On My Way Up by DJ Dimples. Yon feature UJR no Casper Nyovest. And if you're tuning in now, this time is almost just 1 minute before 8 o'clock. And so we in the middle of our top stories. So news came in this weekend. Go to the Chief Executive Officer of Welsh Rugby Union resigned izolo amid allegations of toxic culture at the organization. So Steve Phillips stepped down after a documentary iphumile and in allegation of misogyny, sexism, racism and homophobia at the Welsh Rugby Union, also known as the WRU. So the former Olympic hurdler and Wales wing Nigel Walker has taken over as caretaker CEO, warning of an existential crisis for Welsh rugby. It is a huge amount of regret that I have decided to hand in my resignation, kusho Phillips statement issued by the WRU. I've always had the best interest of Welsh rugby at the heart of my every action and thought, but have come to a conclusion ukuthi now time for someone else to lead the way. So kule documentary le which iphume in Monday na, Welsh women's rugby former manager uCharlotte Wethen spoke of how a male colleague said phambi kwamanye ama-colleague wabe ofisini ukuthi yena bekafuna kumrape, and futhi she wanted to consider suicide due to what she described as a toxic culture of sexism at the WRU. So no allegations were made against Steve Phillips in the recent BBC program, and he was not accused of any wrongdoing, the WR statement said. So the WRU leader, Luena Evans, had vowed ukuthi an external task force is established ukusiza ukuthekela lama allegation. So Friday the Welsh Rugby Players Association ibhale open letter ku Evans and bifuna ukuthi the WRU and its leadership truly takes responsibility for living up to the inclusive values that rugby claims to pride itself on. So Walker, who won 17 caps in the 1990s, has brought in by the Phillips as performance director July 2021 and now steps up to interim CEO. There is no doubt that Welsh rugby is facing an existential crisis, he said. This has been a wake-up call. Perhaps it's a call that has been overdue. The first step to any recovery is admitting the problem. We must now listen intently to what people from outside our organization are telling us. So, kusho Walker to the organization and that team committed to equality, diversity and inclusion that needs to do better. So, we need to do much better, and we will. And we will take necessary corrective steps and stick closely to what the new task force advises. Yeah man, bese do let me know ukuthi wena ucabangani ngalama situation, and yeah man, imagine but then that sport is very notorious for a lot of racism, sexism, homophobia stuff. Yona ne cricket, rugby ne cricket for some reason, man. Yeah, bese ke news came in this weekend ukuthi kunama mixed views on a call to do away with lama eletemble babiza head boy as well as head girl in the country schools. So the Foundations of Education and Social Justice Africa has urged the government to scrap lamatem lawa, arguing that ukuthi the excluder the queer community. And the foundation also amatems reinforce the mentality that leadership roles can only be occupied by individuals conform to traditional gender identities, and but these can be harmful kwamalena who identify as non-binary or transgender, as a sender message ukuthi they are not equal or capable of holding a leadership position. So media ikhulume namalena regarding le ndaba le and nama residents of Johannesburg, and baze express ama view abo go scraper lama term head boy and head girl. And some say that it is not a significant issue, and I change the lived experiences like we group, while abanye ba believe ukuthi change is due. Someone is quoted ukuthi, I think the concept should not be abolished in schools because this concept has been working since it was put in place. Gushilene one, while omunye athi, I just feel like some things are unnecessary to change, and as much as I am gay, it doesn't mean each and everything must change. That will call these terms we are trying to change. Yeah, man, that's an interesting thing. As much as he's gay, he doesn't believe that each and everything must change. Yeah, and I'm sort of like, my views are sort of like leaning to his viewpoint. Man, like, okay, maybe not. I just like old-fashioned stuff, man. I just realized, sorry, I don't have, like, I feel like emotionally I'm leaning with that guy's point of view, but logically, like, I cannot back it up. So meanwhile, this learner said that the change would be the right step in creating inclusive spaces with society. So start introducing terms like head prefect, head ambassador. I think that would be better. I know personally, as someone who's a trans experience, if someone refers to me as Mrs. or Mr. when I clearly want the title Miss being used to refer to me, I really feel hurt and slightly disrespected. Yeah, man, do let me know what some of you are cutting in that department. So I'm a student. They want the changing of terms from head boy and head girl to changing to something else. But they believe they are not inclusive, especially the department yama queer community. And yeah, man, just let me know with that situation. Marage, other news that came in during the weekend, I'm a South African who violated COVID-19 lockdown regulations could soon have their criminal records expunged. Imagine having criminal record for your thing is seeing around the corner, man. Or your check, or fuck. Remember that video of some guy putting his girlfriend in the boot during lockdown, like just so he could sneak with the Batakama police and stuff. So yeah, but the criminal records will be expunged. I just quickly want to search what expunged means or how it's pronounced. But I'm assuming now, it means they are getting rid of La Marakudlawaya. So it's past tense, expunged, past participle, expunged, yeah. So it means obliterate or remove completely, something unwanted and unpleasant. Yeah, so they're gonna be removed. I'm a criminal record about or broke lockdown regulations. So the parliament say to process formulation new legislation regarding the situation there. Tens of thousands of people are sitting with a criminal record after the state of disaster was enacted in March 2020. imagine not being able to get a job ingoba on a criminal record yokuphula ama lockdown regulations. Wow. So nalama regulations lawa now in past, the Justice Portfolio Committee is in the process of formulating a new legislation to expand ama criminal record. So amaphoyisa bathi in 2022 abantu abay 400,000 ile baboshwa amaphoyisa for violate ama lockdown regulation during the first year of the regulations. Wala abanye ba receive ama warning bese kunabanye ababhadala ama admission of guilt fine ngalama criminal record banama criminal records that could stand in the way of them getting employment or traveling overseas. Imagine. Hey, bese i-Justice Committee Chairperson Ubulelani Magwanishe athi the new legislation izo-addressa lento leyo. We promise that we will deal with this matter immediately after COVID is over, and the department is working on the issue so that we can have those criminal records expand. Yeah, basically most of our lockdown violations include illegal gatherings, off-site sale for alcohol outside the regulated times, as well as violate the late curfew. Yeah, mangifuna yonke lento mina ngicabanga konjubani Bigicele kupuskangthwara. Yeah man, mara do let me know ukuthi wena ucabangani, what's on your mind regarding bazo scripper of the criminal records for abantu that broke lockdown regulations a while ago. My goodness. Marage, otherwise that was a song by Lenny Williams titled Cause I Love You. Yona yapuma 1975 under the album Rise Sleeping Beauty. And then before that one we had Azkali by Ukabza the Small featuring Udali Wonga. Yona ipume under the album called King of Amapiano 2 Mara Part 1. So King of Amapiano 2 Part 1, yeah. And I put my last year. Yeah, I put my last year. But yeah, if you're tuning in now, the time is 8:25. And I kind of song and I go entertaining stories worldwide. So I just start it fast, Obo. So the first headline is Marsha Abela films Winehouse scene in costume and still not looking like Amy Winehouse. So I'm a fan. Apparently they don't like Gucci. They don't like seeing Marisa Abela in a costume for a biopic. Probably they aren't gonna be happy. But in the latest update, it still looks a little off, like a funny night. So immediately obtaining a picture at London is all afternoon, where the actress was full costume portraying the late singer. As you probably know by now, Ugutu Marisa has taped to play Amy Winehouse. Abantu online, they are crying foul, like bayangala ju, but it's a complete miscast. So considering the massive amount of criticism in early set photos, it's always in the past few weeks, you might have thought Uguti studio would make a tweak or two to Marisa's makeup or something. Got to get next. And as soon as these pics, they are forging ahead with what they got there. So I always had an issue with let's say these famous people, Mabazo Shama movie wabo and stuff. Like, why do we want them to look the same as the other? As the real person? Rather get someone who can act it out than looks like the rather than so the acting must be more advanced than him trying or her trying to look like the artist that, because like in my opinion, the Tupac movie, I feel like that man was only cast because he looked like him. Mara, his I did not like his acting. He's a horrible actor. Horrible. So yeah, man, can we just go back to the drawing board? Like they don't have to, or do they? I don't think they should, man. So unclear to what sort of scene they were shooting exactly. Magama eyewitness was the Amy on screen dead. AD Massa was dropping her off to rehab center. And this will make sense, but if Filmiak is focusing on Amy's rise with fame in the early years of her career, where she was still living in London. By then she'd probably been using a substance, alcohol, and nezinye izinto. There's locally uZix Bantwini usima kutlika into like yonke into ngathi yamhlanganela, and the manager yakhe ne business partner uSibo Mhlungu ujoina ama forces towards the end of 2021. So a veteran singer and a music producer had just released Osama, and Mhlungu, a seasoned entrepreneur and talent manager who earned his stripes working with Ama talent from around the world and included international acclaimed Lebo M from Lion King, was looking for a new challenge. So after Ama meeting Zambalo, the pair decided to join forces to launch a new agency, ebizwa IMG Africa. So together, they set off to maximize Ama potential of Osama and leverage the hype to build Ubantwini into globally competitive music star. So within a months, Osama bibrekama records on local radio, and Ubantwini was touring umhlaba wonke more than ever before. So to the people outside, it may look like this will happen overnight, but it didn't. Bantwini says over the phone from Paris, and it's been working tirelessly throughout my career with this moment, and is released to struck gold. So yeah, things are looking nice for uZix Bantwini and stuff. But say on the other hand, Kanye West is suspected for Ipetari, so by an investigator, and this comes after he grabs and tosses a photographer's phone. So Kanye is suspected in a Betari investigation in a heated exchange in a photograph. It escalated to a point Kanye atwata the woman's phone and ayilahla. Bese lo mfazi lo utlima, he exclaims he's a celebrity, but that's enough for ye who grabs and throws the woman's phone into the streets. This is AKA vibes, man. This is AKA vibes. Maragaya, do let me know what tabangani within that department. I think in this we good traffic. So near Pretoria, there's an incident crash before Ram to Maywater. All lanes are open. Asame ku sports before this is ubuyanga traffic.
It's time for Sports Blitz Bulletin on VMC Planet Radio.
Yeah, man. So the PSL this weekend, starting from Friday, Stellenbosch win against the Cape Town City 3-2, and then on Saturday, Mamelodi Sundowns ibidlala ne Sekhukhune United, and Mamelodi Sundowns win 2-0, even though bebane red card. And then another match that happened was Swallows versus SuperSport United, and Yona was a 1-1 draw, and then Orlando Pirates win against the Gallants. They win 2-0. And then Izolo, Richards Bay was versing Amazulu, and Yona be 1-1 draw. Ichiba United, Yona win against Maritzburg United rather. He win 1-0. And Kaizer Chiefs on the other hand, they are winner in a while. So he win 2-0 against Royal AM. And TS Galaxy, he win 4 against the Golden Arrows, 4-0 that is. And otherwise, I'm fixture. Swallows is of Richards Bay on Friday, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And on the same day, 7:30, uzodlala Amazulu versus Maritzburg United. Bese weekend I think yenkulu le Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns, Saturday on the 4th of February 3:30, and I'll tell you all the rest in like another hour. Marage athi singene.
It's time for Sports Blitz Bulletin on VMC Planet Radio.
Yeah, man. Marage, that was your traffic. Athi ke singene ku my platinum mornings. I dedicate this one to what's this? Black Eyed Peas. Ay suqoka.
Kanyiwa sibali jonga. Manzi phansi irofiwile. Msirayo mayi.
Mayiwe. Like you lying if you didn't enjoy that classic. Ngeke sibali. Give the boy some credits. Forget about it. Otherwise, the previous song, the most recent song, Boom Boom Pow by Black Eyed Peas, which is a group. I think they buy 3 or 4 if I'm not mistaken. All I know is that there's will.i.am and this other flame of a woman. Mara, so there's this other Asian looking guy. Yeah, man, that group is timeless, in my opinion. That group, in terms of like groups, that group is under Young Money, like catalog wise, image wise, everything wise. But that song is called Boom Boom Pow, and it put in 2009 under the album titled The End. And before that one we had Meet Me Halfway, also by Black Eyed Peas, and Yona Ipume in the year 2009 under the same album, which is titled The End. And then the very first song in Aidlala, I think Okela Matrika Pume under the same album. Yeah, like I said, Pume under the same album. Yeah, the first song I played was called I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas. So if you want to download or stream or what, yeah, man. But again, otherwise, the time is 8:48, the 30th of January. If it is your birthday, hit me up, man. Uzokulela. Hit me up via SMS, WhatsApp. You can even call on 062-450-8619, or you can send through your loved ones' numbers and imagine how cool it'd be if ever your loved one receives a birthday shout out live on air. Yeah, man. So 062-450-8619. Yeah, man. Basically, if ever you're interested in short courses lana VMC regarding film and TV, journalism, DJing, IT, and many more, you can hit up the reception lady on 010-335-1111. 010-335-1111. Yeah, man. Marage, if you're only tuning in now, we are in the middle of what's this? Entertainment news worldwide. So, kala locally, there's this girl, a woman rather. I can never pronounce her name. I hope Fandak I nailed it. Mary Chan. So Mary Chan is serving Stella Material latest single. So Mary Chan also the former Jamili singer. I didn't know she was a Jamili singer. So yeah, the former Jamili singer has been on a roll solo career since iband yakhe yahlukana officially back in the year 2019. And Jamili first rocketed fame back in 2003. Mababuya second to Ghetto Lingo on the reality singing competition ebizwa Coca-Cola Pop Stars. But since then, powerhouse singers achieve greatness and even outshining a winner. So they were also nominated for the South Africa Music Awards and bawine in 2009 for category Best South African Pop Act. And some said that if Jamil were Destiny's Child, then Mary Chan would be Beyonce for Le Group Le, being the smoothest voice among Lababanya by 3. Really, I should actually check out the Jamil. I should actually look for a Jamil song. Yeah, but otherwise, after various singles released since her solo career took off, Mary Chan, who is originally from Ekapa but was relocated to Johannesburg, Uyan is doing well for Yena in the entertainment industry. And you share a snippet of her single on Instagram. I caption nifunda, ladies and gentlemen, my new single Stella is out now on all digital platforms. Download, stream, listen, but whatever you do, vibe to it and help me take it to the next level. PS love Mo, thank you. Yeah man, bese I hope le snippet le izodlala ukuthi sizwe ukuthi khala kanjani yabo. Athi ngizwise. Athi siphinde. Oh my gosh. Athi siyeke. It's tripping. What's going on today technical wise? So yeah, that was Jamila's story. Mary Chan's story rather. So dubbed one of the most diverse crossover artists, dabbling with fusion of Afrobeats, R&B, piano. His sound is undoubtedly, and it resonated with Umhlaba Wonke. The curated sounds reveal a sassy, sexy, vulnerable, bold, sophisticated, yet edgy twist, and is through a different mode. So Mary Chan explaining what Stella is short for the slang Stella with a R, ends with a R. So relating to qualities to a star or praise for being wonderful and outstanding or cool. This song is a banger of a note. This track highlights the clever fusion of sounds, my tone and vocal flair that's simply stellar. This song truly is an African dime, but I'll say less because I said too much already. When I just press play, when I press play, she said. But yeah man, if I've heard the song, do let us know Guti Zkipan, Batini and stuff. But so yeah, moving on internationally, so Paul Logan, I'm sure everyone knows who Paul Logan is. Paul Logan is the guy, I think at first he was a Disney child and then Wakula and then became like YouTube famous and he was doing quite well for himself. At some point he even fought who's this? Floyd Mayweather, yeah. At some point he fought Floyd Mayweather and I think that was Floyd Mayweather's last fight. And about to Paul Logan you win the fight, yeah. And everyone was angry because they could clearly tell the match was fixed. There's no way Money Mayweather could beat every heavyweight that he's ever versed. And uzohlulwa Paul Logan umuntu oqale 5 minutes ago. So Paul Logan hits an insane stunt. So apparently, yeah, Paul Logan ubuyele ku WWE for the first time since Limaza gu Men's Kias and MCL against Universal Champion or Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. And the YouTuber turned boxer turned pro wrestler stole the show on the Royal Rumble debut. So Logan, who has been out who has been out of action since November, entered his first ever Royal Rumble match as the second to last entrant, number 29, and immediately made an impact felt. So the Maverick, who had one of the best spots match when he collided with WWE superstar and high flyer Ricochet in a jaw dropping moment, sending over 51,000 fans with frenzy at the Alamo Dome in Texas. So Logan and Ricochet positioned at the top rope opposite one another, launched their bodies at each other and collided mid-air in the middle of a ring. So the spot in the match was sick, and the WWE Universe ibonisa their appreciation for a high risk stunt, cheering both men for pulling off the maneuver. So Ricochet has a flair for flyer off the top rope, Mara encounter between Yen and Logan was remarkable considering the last time WWE fans babonu Paul inside the squared circle was over 2 months ago. So another incredible moment during a Rumble match came when Cody Rhodes, son of WWE legend Dusty Rhodes, returned to the ring after being sidelined with a torn pectoral muscle injury since June. Man, I remember Cody, I think at some point, Cody at some point was one of those skinny gents in wrestling, like years ago. He was so skinny, like no one wanted to be like part of his team. I remember Bamfaka no John Cena at some point, they had something bad going on for. It's a long story, as I feel like Marakuri was like as skinny as me, man. Like I think it was a beginner, and then it disappeared for a while. I'm sure to boy. I'm actually curious to see how does he look. But again, moving on local news. So kunama artists in South Africa abakho-signwe by other artists in like above, like over our borders. I was looking for the word, I couldn't find it, man. Yeah, so the fact that I'm a local artist, musician, are continuing to make amakwabo globally, and the biggest artists emhlabeni are recognizing South African talent and becoming more and more source of pride amongst local fans. So before the shenanigans around Akon no show at Cape Town Saints Champagne Bar and Lounge grabbed headlines, the American artist expressed during the interview yake that bega a fan of South Africa's very own Costa Titch. And good clip, which was part of an unidentified podcast recording, where Akon at the local rapper and Mapiano star also changed the game. There's a brand new artist out of Africa. His name is Costa Titch. The locked up hitmaker said while he scrolled through his phone, check him out, that kid is a problem. He's gonna change the game. Costa Titch shared the clip go Instagram feed nama stories wake along ne caption ebhalwe, big shout out to my brother at Akon for the love. This honestly means the world to me. Yeah, man. Nasty C has been trying to penetrate the US market, and ever since the 25-year-old rapper broke onto the national scene way back in 2015, he is widely recognized as South Africa's hip-hop top international prospect. While Ilea collaborator namanya ma global artists njengo Ari Lennox, T.I., Lil Kid, akakabi abakam notice with US market. So but this past week the Juice Bag hitmaker who received the biggest sign thus far when the R&B legend to Chris Brown posted a clip freestyle on his Instagram stories. Maybe this year might be the year Ayenza amat global scene for real. Who knows, nah? But so Kelvin Momo not Drake ngapha. So Drake is arguably the biggest artist of the decade, and it's hardly surprising that the artist every time maga post or like or comment or follow amanyama artist, like everyone goes crazy on social media. So most recently, le rapper le Pume Canada, also known as Drake, otherwise follow Kelvin Momo go Instagram, and then what drop a direct message it, you my friend are from another planet, and listening to you like a religious experience. Naturally obvious Kelvin Momo couldn't contain excitement yake, and I shy screenshot a capture waking up to such speechless a poster. So jokes aside, getting to a DM from Drake means a lot, and I don't even know what to say, but I am even grateful, man. Besangapa upleki, Jaden Smith. So there was a time Jaden Smith posted Instagram reel background bekudlala single yaga Blackie. ebizwa Yay times 4 and le track leyo feature Nasty C as a soundtrack. So ama South Africans obvious bahamba ama comment bagcwalisa ama emoji bakhuluma ngama South African flag, everything representing yabo. So on the real in question, Smith opens with a chorus yay as a figure iceboard in what appears to be a virtual world. Yeah, that thing really did it looked virtual, like it looked so real yet so Popeye-ish. So I was kind of confused because I remember seeing that clip. So Mystery School say live now, misfitsrap.com. So uSmith caption le post leya kanjalo, and just imagine a Blackie and Jaden Smith collaboration. Wouldn't that be something? Bese lastly was Uzex Bantwini no Post Malone. So Uzex Bantwini close off incredible year yakhe 2022 by a performer at the fashion show at Qatar a few days before the FIFA World Cup final between Argentina and France. So during the show, Ubantwini crossed my path ne Grammy Award winning rap star Post Malone backstage. And one day the musically deaf will hear Bantwini captioned an image of the two on Instagram. He'd later reveal ukuthi through a press release that they had discussed the possibility of ukusebenza with one another and of Post Malone as a down in South Africa will perform. Yeah, I'm really quite excited for that. Akwanje Post Malone has been here for a Castle Light and stuff, and majority of the people are like disappointed at the time. Although he was popular, I don't think in our market he was like that popular. Yeah, mara anyways, yeah, that's my chat, man. Ngidlalele le track, hopefully yadlala ingoba ngiqeda ukudownloada manje angayimameli. I'm throwing myself in the deep end.
Kanyiwa Sibali Jonga manzi phansi irofiwile. Msray my.
Yeah, man. Like I said, that was Lu 911 featuring Dali Wonga, Friends with Benefits. And before that, there's no Mass Music and Maestro. Ibizwa Relokeleng. That was a horrible quality, by the way. I do apologize for not writing it. I do. Marage, the time is 9:13 rather. And we are about to dive into history. So otherwise, if you're only tuning in now, you all missed out on a lot. Being my top stories as well as entertainment news worldwide. That's where we learned Guti Kanye as like angazi kunama allegation webetari that is about to face ngoba lahlifoni yomunye umfazi. And on top of that, spoke about our local artists and international artists that are paying recognition to one another. Yeah. So moving on, now we're starting with what happened on this day in history. So Carte Blanche is denied the permission to quota Oliver Tambo. So on this very day in 1987, the Minister of Law and Order issued a message Guama newspaper denying Carte Blanche an investigation television program permission to quote exile the president of the African National Congress, also known as the ANC, Oliver Tambo. So the communication from the office to Minister E.T. Please note that the Minister of the Law and Order has not given Carte Blanche permission to quote Oliver Tambo. He has given permission to quote her freely from 3 particular newspaper articles. It appeared in the New York Times, New York Post, and Wall Street Journal. So a message suggests a softening up on the part of the NP government. And this may have been who resulted the countrywide unrest that marked March of the 1986. A leader declaration of yet any state of emergency. So yeah, the tone of this message iniga permission kwama newspaper kuquota articles from 3 American publications was indicative of the pressure the apartheid government was feeling in 1987. And yeah, ama events ayenzeke in 1988, culminating in the removal of P.W. Botha in 1989 and the arrival of F.W. de Klerk were a prelude to the negotiated settlement that followed. Yeah, so that's what happened on this day regarding local history. And moving on, international history. Né? So on this day in 1956, Martin Luther King Jr.'s home ibomiwe, like by Pomile on this day. So an unidentified suspect, white supremacist terrorist, bombed the Montgomery home of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And agnamuntu that was harmed, but the explosion outraged a community and a major test of King's steadfast commitment to non-violence. So King was relatively new to Montgomery, Alabama, but had quickly involved himself in a civil rights struggle in that area. So yeah, begalile organizer we Montgomery bus boycott, which began in December 1955 after activist Rosa Parks begaboshwe for good refuser to give up isiti yakhe epasini, like she was expected to, due to segregational laws of that time. So le boycott brought King national recognition, but also made him good target to a white supremacist. And he was speaking at nearby church on the evening ngalelanga leli when big no muntu o drive nearby ngemoto yakhe wa walk up to King's house and walahlela some explosive we porch yakhe. So yeah, the bomb went off, damaging indlu yakhe, but ngenhlanhla no one was hurt. And umfazi wakhe, who was inside the couple's 7-month-old baby daughter Yolanda. Wow, so this person did not even consider like the 7-month-old daughter that was in the house. So yeah, so indaba zalama bombing spread quickly, and obviously crowd yakwata bagather around ngaphandle kwalendlu le bomiweyo, and in a matter of minutes after indlu beqeda ukubhoma, standing feet away from the site of explosion, King preached non-violence. I want you to love our enemies, he told his supporters. Be good to them, love them, and let them know you love them. It was a prime example of King's deeply held belief with non-violence as what could have been a riot, but instead it became a powerful display of the highest ideals of a civil rights movement. So he later on added, Uguti, if I am stopped, this movement will not stop. A sentiment he repeated throughout Gumpilo yake. Later that same year, while iBoycott was still in effect, kunomuntu watubula isibhamu at King's home, and they continued to receive death threats nama intimidation, including a letter from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, also known as the FBI, until King was assassinated in 1968. So yeah, you could imagine, man, even FBIs were involved in such stuff. Like, King was a threat to the government at the time. And there's this one cool story. Apparently, if you're a fan of Boondocks, right? There's this character called Huey. So Huey's the guy with the afro, and Huey was named after I just forgot. Is it Huey Newton? I think it was Huey Newton. Let me just confirm. But anyways, Huey was the character on Boondocks was named after. Yeah, I was right. Huey P. Newton, which was the person who started, one of the people who started the Black Panthers, right? So Huey P. Newton, apparently, when he started Black Panther, the government decided to call him FBI. Like, do you understand? The FBI started cause of I feel like I'm feeling Nina. I'm feeling, man. Like the government, FBI. FBI is something that you hear about in movies, in documentaries. The FBI is cool and stuff. Kanti nah, the FBI was started in while the government was scared of the Black Panther and Huey P. Newton, dog. Nina. Yeah, so as I digress, I think we'll move. So Le Bombing Layer was only one chapter in a long history of violence against civil rights leaders and African Americans that continued to this day. So bombings nokutubulana ngapha nokushisa building or whatever, whoever's property at African American churches remain shockingly common in the United States. And a massacre committed by a white supremacist Esontweni in Charleston, South Carolina, it claimed 9 lives back in 2015. And in 2019, the son of a local sheriff's deputy was arrested and charged with a string of arson attacks on the African American churches in Louisiana. Yeah, so yeah, that's the chat on history. So Maka, the skati is 9:22. And yeah, man, Abidoza.
Ingabe grade 10, grade 11 noma grade 12. Lokho akunkinga. IVMC Academy iyakwamukela. Sinezifundo ze-IT kanye ne-media. Sine-technical support, software development, sound engineering, film and TV production, advertising kanye ne-journalism. Ukwazi kabanzi noma uthola imininingwane ethe xaxa, shayela kule nombolo u-011 051 5155 011 051 5155 noma uthumele i-email kuleli kheli admin@butlarimarketing.com admin@butlarimarketing.com. VMC Academy, creating employers and employees.
VMC Planet News.
Thank you very much, Platinum Mornings. The time now is 9:30, and here are your headlines. I am Erin Mashiane, Travela. Evidence is there, EFF pursuing state capture corruption case against Mantashe. Anglo-American South Africa, children in Zambia square off with poisoning class action bid. Mass shooting at birthday party in Gqeberha claims 8 lives. Catch your full news bulletin at 10 o'clock.
VMC Planet News. Traffic.
Yeah, otherwise in Pretoria, there is an incident in the N1 southbound. There's a stationary vehicle after the ramp from Proof Plus interchange, and one left lane is blocked. And nearby that intersection, in the N4, there is an incident rather. We N4 westbound, and there is a crashed vehicle before a ramp to the Water Mayor Saints, and all lanes are open. And yes, Centurion, there is an incident in the N1 southbound. There's a crashed vehicle before the ramp of Brakfontein Road, and the left shoulder is blocked. And in Olifantsfontein, there is roadwork in the R21 northbound, and all ramp from the area are blocked. And going down into Johannesburg, there is an incident in the N1 northbound, and there's a crashed vehicle before the ramp to Mariesburg, and yeah, and we have a technical glitch, Marage. That's it on your traffic. Guzobana Sports just afterwards.
Traffic.
It's time for Sports Blitz Bulletin on VMC Planet Radio.
Yeah, man, but otherwise, in the PSL fixture, this Friday, the 3rd of February, to be specific, Swallows izodlala ne-Richards Bay, 6 o'clock, and this is going to be 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And then Maritzburg United izovesa Amazulu, and this is going to be 7:30 in the afternoon on the very same day. Bese Saturday kuzodlala Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns. Yona izoba 3:30. May the best team win. This one is personal. Bese 3:30 futhi kuzodlala Golden Arrows against Royal AM. And then 5:30 in the afternoon kuzoba ne Super Sports United versus Cape Town City, as well as Chippa United versus Stellenbosch. And 8 o'clock Saturday evening, Gallants versus Sekhukhune United. And then on Sunday, kuzoba ne TS Galaxy versus the losing team, Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah, otherwise that was your sports from Uzuko.
It's time for Sports Blitz Bulletin on VMC Planet Radio.
New year, new vibe.
When last did you speak to him?
I just arrived. Are we back again? See you VMC. See the happy new year.
Out with the old and in with the new. Happiest 2022.
Yona platinum money nyale.
Ndiona show ya magwena.
Ay ndinga kayona le one.
Yona platinum money.
This is your number one breakfast show in the whole planet, Platinum Morning.
Kanyiwa Sibali Jonga. Manzi phansi irofiwile. Msmile mayi.
Ingabe uno-grade 10, ugrade 11 noma ugrade 12? Lokho akunkinga. I-VMC Academy iyakwamukela. Sinezifundo ze-IT kanye ne-media. Sine-technical support, software development, sound engineering, film and TV production, advertising kanye ne-journalism. Ukwazi kabanzi noma ukuthola imininingwane ethe xaxa, shayela kule nombolo u-011 051 5155, 011 051 5155, noma uthumele i-email kuleli kheli admin@butlarimarketing.com, admin@butlarimarketing.com. VMC Academy, creating employers and employees.
Yeah, otherwise, welcome back to the greatest show I've ever known. Yeah. The previous song, it is by the Jacksons. Yeah, the Jackson 5. It's a song by the Jackson 5 titled I'll Be There. And the song was released back in 1970 under an album called The Third Album. But before that one, I had Utumelo, a song titled Come With Me. What a throwback. Yeah, man, but otherwise, the time is 9:45, man. And if you're only tuning in now, Sasha Ama, Today in History Worldwide. Maragating change the background song, I read better with local content. Going back to the history, right? So locally, on this day, the Pretoria Supreme Court ordered the Pretoria Supreme Court ordered the South African Medical and Dental Council, also known as SAMDC, to hold inquiry into the conduct of the two doctors Ebatrite Steve Biko for Amalanga I5 before Ashona. So Ubiko ilewa banjwa e Port Elizabeth, otherwise currently known as Gqeberha. Ama-security lapho on the 18th of August 1977, and bambambe for Amalanga I20. And yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, 20 ngezulu amashumi amabili, ne? Yeah, I think abashuba babili. If I'm lying, that's police, man. Yo. So yeah, sometimes between 6 and 7 September, right? So Ubiko was beaten and Abamtochara into a coma. So according to Lama allegation lawa, made at the time, Surgeon Ivan Lang, along with each chief district surgeon, Benjamin Taka, ileba collaborator namapolisa to cover up the abuse, which led to Biko's death from his injury on the 12th of September. So prior to his Supreme Court order, and 2 years after his death, the SAMDC disciplinary committee batoluguti bengena evidence and bengena evidence for the case against the two doctors laba batrite uBiko shortly before a ilanga lakhe lokushona. So February 1982, dissatisfied doctors had presented a petition to the council seeking another inquiry. However, this was rejected on the grounds that bengena evidence ileyavela. So because death on the 12th of September 1977, right, caught the attention of the international community. It increased the pressure on South African government ukuthi bayeke abolish its detention policies and called for an international investigation into the causes of his death. Even close to allies with South Africa, Britain and the United States of America expressed concern over his death. And after pressure was put into holding a full inquiry, the SAMDC went to find Utaka guilty for disgraceful conduct and Ulang guilty for improper conduct. So Utaka lebam suspended from a medical register for 3 months, but his sentence was suspended for 2 years. And Ulang was cautioned and lebam reprimanded SAMDC. Yeah, so that's what happened on this very day, man. But say internationally, so on this very day internationally, nah. So back in 1948, Mohandas Gandhi was assassinated. So the political and spiritual leader of the Indian independence movement is assassinated in New Delhi by a Hindu extremist ngalelanga leli 1948. So born the son of an Indian official 1869. Gandhi's Vaishnava mother was deeply religious and early exposed umdanake to Jainism, a morally religious Indian religion. Advocates non-violence. Yeah. So Gandhi was an unremarkable student, but in 1888 was given the opportunity funda in England. So in 1891 he returned to India, but failing to find a regular legal work, who accepted in 1893 a 1-year contract la eMzansi Africa. So ile asetilisha la Natal, and he was subjected to racism and the South African laws that restricted ama rights of ama Indian laborers. Gandhi later recalled ukuthi one such incident in which he was removed from a first-class railway compartment and thrown off a train as his moment of truth. So up until this very point, I think that's where Mohandas Gandhi would see the system like South Africa. It was messed up, especially for Iresiake, which is Indian. So from there on, he decided to fight injustice and what defend ama rights as Indian and as a man. When his contract expired, he spontaneously decided kuhlala la eMzansi Africa and walauncha a campaign against legislation that would deprive Indians of ama right ukuvota. So wafoma in Natal Indian Congress and drew international attention to the plight of Indians in South Africa. So in 1906, the Transvaal government sought to further restrict ama rights of my Indians, and Gandhi organized his first campaign, ebizwa Satyagraha, or mass civil disobedience. And after 7 years of protest, negotiated a compromise agreement in the South African government. So in 1914, Gandhi wabuyele India when they wahlala of abstinence and spiritually on a periphery of Indian politics. Yeah, man, so that's what happened on this very day. So yeah, man, otherwise the time is 9:52 and it is the 30th of January. And yeah, if you're catching us up, if you're only catching us now, we are roundabout done with the show. We are about to introduce a Branch Breeze. But before I do that, before I do that, I just want to recap ukuthi sithe sikhulume ngani on the show today. Sile saqala ngama top stories, sathi news into South African entertainment, and then sathi today in history worldwide. Mara ke it is introduce a Branch Breeze. Sawubona dokotela unjani?
Hola bafethu, mnandi kanjani my G?
Ngimnandi man, ngimnandi. Cha Monday dog. It's just a Monday.
Oh, so
yeah, man. Do you know I didn't know we got paid, bro?
Did we?
But bangitshela manje but hey wena.
This guy, why are you revealing such Yo fethu lo mjidela unobuyisa inhlungu Nkosi yami. Alokhu suka lobhlungu kodlulele payday.
Why ibhlungu to?
Efethu sasinga understand fethu abazali the day fethu umuntu ehola.
Yeah.
You are number. Singa understand ucinga fast bafethu atsho nguma olethu udlala ngawo kanjani yanishaya shaya. Hey, lo mjidi uyayihleka intwimbi madoda.
Yo. And I know that thing dog. Yo. Growing up is a trap. You.
When uyaxoka wena uyanishaya shaya or you don't relate.
I do, boy. Bengasiyimi last week ngithi mfethu. La noma wathi ngiyaphema la I'm out of budget dog. Ngaphema one I'm out of budget my G. Yeah man. So
yala sisho kona nathi stop this smoking thing man.
Mfana bengithi ngeke izolo na.
Kwathi
everything ngithi ngeke izolo. Bara ngabambela izolo bengithi ngiyayeka na.
Kwathi
emergency ndwana ngahlangana nabo dog.
Yeah.
But isuko be birthday yakho Saturday. Let's mess things up.
Oh, you don't say.
Hey, dog.
Wait. Like, for real, was it your birthday on Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, man, shit. Oh, okay. And why didn't you say?
I'm saying that, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was intentional or some shit.
Nah. I'm the type of person who I want people to wish me birthday, nah? But at the same time, I don't wanna like come out to you and be like, hey, it's my birthday, Joe. Like.
So, lo happy birthday seems a bit forced now.
Yeah.
Then so, what did you do, okay?
Yo, dog. Angifuni isho ngegama ne. Mara bangesela.
Okay.
Uthi wakhathele kahle dog. Are you asibuyele show it dog?
You went there?
Yeah. Dog, I arrived at home this morning, dog.
Hey, but alright.
But otherwise, boy, we have 4 minutes to brief abalaleli with what to expect on Branch Breeze, manji.
Yeah, man, it's a Monday. Si fresh, si relevant, si phakathi kwabo, yabo.
Okay.
Uyayazi mfethu mani ishow ensombo kakhulu, show evutha malangabe, not your normal malangabe but your luxurious malangabe. Branch Breeze iyabuya by fire by force. Darko Blue sigalelekile, asifika ngasigalelekile in fact. Siyaqhubeka nazo ke trending stories zethu sokuthatha kuzo 6 kwi words of wisdom setokukhuthazana sinika namandla omphefumlo. Then sisuke apho sikuyele kwi top 10 yethu. It's a surprise, it's gonna be fire, it's always fire, not like you didn't know and stuff.
I feel
if you could see the inspiration in this man's eyes next to me.
Hey man, but I had to value shoot, yeah. Otherwise, from me, Zuko _IV on all social media platforms at Valili Show. And it's on the same time, same place, Sasa Platinum Mornings for the Platinum people. Papayini.
It's Pharrell here.